Vertigo. But one thing I want to see is minus on the op.
Yep, absolutely. We didn't get to see him pretty much at all on Vertigo. He couldn't really find his rhythm, but it's Dust2. It's an opper's paradise. And well, now we're going to get a chance. Well, not yet, right? The op's going to take a few rounds to come out, but at least we'll see if Orgless can come out on top here. They are going to jump in towards long A. They're wasting no time going for that take. Carpe Diem does get the information, and they will back off immediately, likely going to get a player back onto the A side proper. There's the boost. Jitter is there, and Chop going to wait and peek around the corner so they can double peek this.
Long play from Orgless against the USPs. It's always a risky call if there's no aggression from that CT side towards long. And off of the back of this lack of information, Walco's already pushed all the way through B tons. He's getting in towards T spawn now, and a backstab from Hext comes in. This play is read like a book already by Carpe Diem. It's only a matter of time before they should connect their shots. Orgless are closing the gap, and Minus will pick up one, but he's traded back swiftly. Swisher will get another one on the drive-by, but a 3v2 in the favor of Carpe Diem. But the bomb, it's down towards corner. They can't get the bomb. John, they might have a disadvantage, and they don't have the bomb. They can't really get out of the situation at all. All of Carpe Diem are hounding them in. One cap, one long, one CT. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Carpe Diem should be able to lock this one down.
Oh, what a mistake to lose the bomb while both players take that site. Now Orgless is going to have to fight their way out of it. Still possible, but a lot harder. They do manage to make their way towards CT and isolate Wiz there. We'll see if Wiz can hit the shots. He does miss a few, but Hex is supporting. And then Wiz gets a chance to re-peek on Swisher, who was the last one standing. And that's going to be a 1-0 lead in favor of Carpe Diem, the opposite of what Orgless were hoping to jump out to. But look, it's only one round.
Only one round, but it is a good start for Carpe Diem nonetheless to get something going on Dust2, a map which has had several demons for them in the past. So if they can get things going here, it'll only spur them on with the momentum they've already got from a great Vertigo. Swisher out towards long, takes most of that damage. Nice little shot on a Walco though, returns the favor. A good flashbang enables a second. That's team support there for Orgless and what we need to see from them.
What we expected to see. Nice deagle work coming through from Swisher. He's already up to 4 frags for himself, and now that they've convinced Carpe Diem that they've got this control towards long, they might jump off of it and try to rotate to B. But you see, over in the tunnels, Infinite is actually surrounded here. I think he was going to be, and in the end, Wiz does get the frag over on him, so that will make it a 4v3 and will likely convince Orgless to go towards the A site, losing their lurk.
And they're going to walk into Jitter's spray. He will not connect on it and regroup with the rest of his teammates. Wiz still on that scout, going to try and get some tag him and bag him duels one. Molotov will force the bomb planter off the site, which buys more time for Carpe Diem to regroup and rotate back in. 1 through CT, 2 through Cat. Bomb again, still not down just yet. Damp's trying to get on site. Chop very low in towards elevator, but Swisher has been caught off by Jitter over that smoke. Wiz takes a shot, but takes so much damage. Orgless setting themselves up to try and win this round on the force buy. Chop, however, only a little bit of damage. Big miss. B-Will strikes again. It's all down to Wiz, and Daps will crouch under the scope and finish him off with an MP9. Force buy victory for Orgless, and they've drawn level right off the rip.
Wow, yeah, great work from Orgless, the Deagle work from Swisher in particular, excellent, popping out along and supported well from those flashbangs like you mentioned, and afterwards they just walked on over towards that A site. The A1S that was picked up off the ground used excellently by B-Wills. He gets himself a couple, and Orgless immediately strike back to get themselves in the door. They force Carpe Diem to be on a pistol buy-up, and then Infinite walks into the tunnels and has his way with Walco and Chop, making it a quick 5v3. Jitter does connect on the shot on Infinite, but Infinite is able to get himself a third. That's already $1,800 in the bank account, and then Daps wants to get on that action. He finds himself $1,200 and the round victory. No casualties for Orgless in a quick one.
Easy peasy for Orgless, and this is the Orgless we expected to see on this map, and I think also in this series. I think Vertigo caught us, I know for sure, myself and you, but probably everyone watching this as well, quite off guard. But this is the Orgless we were ready to see. This is the Orgless we expected. Long scrim going to come through here from Carpe Diem. Smoke will hold them at bay. They look to go through it, though. Flashbang goes high. Minus sprays wildly. Kills damage. Going the way of Orgless. Nothing taken back yet by Carpe Diem. And in the smoke, Wiz will not last long. He'll get finished off in the end. Back-to-back flawlesses for Orgless. But now the guns are going to come out for Carpe Diem. This is the first true test for Orgless when it comes to the rifle rounds. And actually, this gun round is not going to be pretty for Carpe Diem whatsoever. Already Walko on an MP9. Wiz does have the op, but he only has a flashbang in terms of utility.
There's the flashbang thrown by Wiz to support a peek towards long. Infinite, jumping up and down with the MP9, decides to back off instead, doesn't want to take that fight, and that's going to be long A control for Carpe Diem, which is excellent news for them. They did have to commit 3 players in order to get it, but now they can back off, maybe leave one there and send the other 2 back to the site proper, and that's exactly what's going to happen with Walco hanging around long. But look at Orgless, they've gotten through mid without much contention at all. In fact, no contention. That leaves Chop in a bit of a tough spot. He does get one, traded out immediately. Jitter, the last one standing on the B site. He's doing work, finds Infinite, but does get traded out by Minus as well. 3v3, Orgless taking a ton more damage than Carpe Diem, but at the very least, they have the bomb plant, and when you get it on this B site, it's very hard for the CTs to get back in, even with the health advantage.
Even with the health advantage and the swapping of the B doors orientation, it's still not an easy site to retake. A little more easy than it was prior back in versions past, but it's not going to be an easy day. However, Daps gets caught out early, and now through tunnels, just an opportunity for Walco. Minus back boxes, good shot onto Wiz, has help from Swisher as well. Minus does so much onto Walco, and he's finished off by Swish. Good 1-2 wombo combo there for Minus and Swisher, and Orgless now with 4 rounds straight are starting to get their rhythm going. They're starting to hit their shots. They're starting to play well together and coordinated. Minus gets the op as well. And this is where Orgless can really start to run away with this T side, take advantage of Carpe Diem's historically low win percentage on the CT side as well. And Minus will not take that initial shot. He's waiting for a peek towards mid, which will not come. But they do know B is relatively clear, maximum 2 players on the site.
And this was the concern we had with Carpe Diem letting Dust2 slip on through into the available maps. And I mean, honestly, they always ban Ancient. It's their perma ban. It just would be nice to see them deviate a little bit from it, even if the risk is that Ancient won't come into the pool. Anyway, well, we'll see. It's far from over. Chop's going to get one, and there's Infinite and Swisher, though, to immediately trade him out. And, of course, Carpe Diem only had pistols into this round. Orgless with the big advantage. Well, that could change with Hex finding one, but Minus is right there for the trade. Walko around the corner, though. Does he get another one? He does, but not a second. Still 2 frags, 3 frags out of the round for Carpe Diem. Not too shabby. As Swisher will get Wiz at the end of it, and Orgless wins.
It wouldn't be North American Counter-Strike without pistols doing something crazy, though, would it?
Yeah.
Man, good shots coming out from Carpe Diem. Orgless, nothing you can really do to a Deagle headshot, just tip your hat and go again. But they do manage to get their 5th on the board, and they still have plenty of money left in the tank. A double op setup coming out here right now for Carpe Diem. Wiz on the primary, Jitter picking up that secondary op. And he's going to take his op towards middle. Wiz will hold a little more passive towards Cat. No B, no long aggression with the ops. They want to take some solid, clean gunfights here. In the meantime, though, Minus is entering out towards B with the op in hand. Chunky nade from Chop, the lone defender, but he gets run over quickly. And now Jitter has to try and support with an op of his own. Will catch one through the smoke. Rotate in towards window. Molotov's bad. Shot doesn't connect. He still has a little more time. Burns a little bit and now runs into the fire. Chased back forward. Now even more utility rains in to keep them walled out of the sight. Carpe Diem, though, taking the time to regroup and make play towards Tons. However, Swisher is ready for them, and Minus can definitely support from his angle in towards upper.
Orgless really wasting no time on these hits. Swisher's going to get one traded out by Wiz, but still, Orgless have the advantage on the defense here. Minus misses a shot that he probably should have hit, then misses another one. Wiz capitalizes finally. Will it be enough is the question. B-Wills finds the trade on Jitter. Walco gets B-Wills, and Wiz finds Infinite. Oh no, the whiff from Minus comes back to haunt him as Wiz gets himself a 3K, and Carpe Diem find a second.
Minus had a couple of opportunities in towards Tons. The second one a little more difficult to hit than the first. Shotgun opping, never an easy task. A good jump peek by Wiz. But it does come back to burn Orgless in the end. Carpe Diem grabbing their second round of the board. Still plenty of money for Orgless, and Carpe Diem will keep the double ops up, but they are in that reset territory yet again. Loss bonus would be 2,900, so not the best, also not the worst. I don't think it would enable a full buy from Carpe Diem, however, if they lose this round. And Walco comes up empty-handed on that initial engagement. Has a friend with him, though. Finally spams down one. Hext finishes off Daps as well. Wiz finds Swisher out in the meantime. And it's just a clean mop-up job by Carpe Diem. And as I say that, one gets strutted back by B-Will, still in pit. Walco's waiting. The damage has been done to B-Wills. He's dropped and the bomb falls to the ground. Minus at a 1v4, creeps forward, gets dinked down. So probably just one consolation frag for him and nothing more to come unless it's a miracle in store by Minus.
Minus doesn't have the bomb on his back. He's going to have to go grab that on doors and takes a shot through the smoke. Doesn't connect on it, but does hit the second on Wiz as he spots him out. Okay, 1v2 now. Still, the bomb not in his back, but the time is there for him to retrieve it. He's hemmed in. He's going to have to hit a shot to find his way out of this situation. Does he expect Chop to be on the flank, and will it even matter? Because he's got himself a 1v1 onto the A site.
And the more Jitter retreats, too, the more opportunity Minus has to be able to cross. This is... It's the right play from Carpe Diem at the same time, knowing what we know it's the wrong play, but they are playing their bets well. They're not trying to get the 1v1s isolated. Jitter's trying to take a safe angle, aim up by a car, so Minus can't get across. The smoke will go down, though, to block that initial cross. A jump comes through. That's exactly what could happen. He revealed his position, but the time is low, and Minus has to plant. He knows this. Chop throwing on the nade, and it dunks perfectly. Bomb plant denied. Round to Carpe Diem, and, well, that's another reason why they were to play it so cheerfully and so calmly, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still a great attempt there coming through from Minus. If he hits the shot on the player in CT, maybe has a better chance coming out with that, but there was still the nade in play, and he just didn't have enough health to deal with it. So nice effort, but no cigar. This time, though, Minus peeks on through from dark and gets the shot through the double doors on Jitter down mid. That's the opener they were looking for, as Orgless is going to now use the space they've gained to likely go towards this B site, or at least abuse mid. The mid support has come back in, though. Hext is there, ready and waiting, and there's one player at B, that is, of course, Chop, who really did pop off on Vertigo. A little bit slower here to start on Dust2.
A little bit slower to start, but a good recovery so far from Carpe Diem once they've got the double ops out. However, one of those ops is on the floor, and Walco's caught out in a rough spot. Infinite can finish him off. That smoke will only keep him alive for so long. It comes down to whether or not this duel gets won, and Swisher will take the initiative and spam that smoke. He's used to the tracers anyways from using the A4. He doesn't care. He knows Infinite's right there for the trade too, even if he dies. So a good spray there. Makes it a 5v3 now in the favor of Orgless. Two players on the B site, too, meaning A is woefully undefended for the CT side, and with Wiz all the way out towards long doors, plenty of space and opportunity arises for Orgless.
39 seconds left on the clock. Here come Orgless charging down Cat and going onto that A site. It is free and clear for the taking. Carpe Diem, two players on the B site, one towards long, and Wiz is going to get that frag over on B Wills, but with the bomb planted at A, it's going to be a hard retake for Carpe Diem. They might just bail on this immediately, given that the other two players, aside from Wiz, of course, are across the map on B, and yeah, it is going to be a retake already. They are not going for this at all.
Yeah, they want to
excuse me, it's going to be a save. Did I say retake?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, they actually might. Minus, or rather, I was thinking this was Wiz for a second there. I was a little confused there too. No, he's just hunting for these saving players. They will go for the save here, not wanting to try their luck on this retake. No reason to, especially considering their distinct lack of funds into the next round. Wiz keeping that off is going to be good, but Minus winning that duel towards middle really started things off well for Orgless in that last round. A little bit of rectifying his previous mistakes, you might even say, with that nice shot too. So Minus starting to heat up is a good sign for Orgless. The more comfortable he gets, the better he will play. And getting that mid-doors pick is going to make him more and more happy and more fluid in this one. Timeout is called by Carpe Diem. They don't like the situation at hand right now. They want to talk things over and fix what's going wrong. They don't want to let Orgless get out to a massive lead. They know how hard it is to come back from a nice, hefty score line. They did it to Orgless on Vertigo. They're going to try and avoid that here on Dust. The buy is here for Carpe Diem. They do have a FAMAS on Jitter, but plenty of utility. Problem is, that double op is what's been giving them success, John. They won't have it here.
Yeah, but Wiz has been playing really well with it, and I think you have to force up around the op, and I would even say it's not around the safest option, of course. It's a full-on
Oh,
buy
yeah.
aside from the FAMAS. Wiz is going to toss that smoke towards long a flashbang after it. So he's just trying to get some control of it, but that's not enough. Orgless just completely overload and almost take Wiz down as well. He eats a bullet to the head. Luckily for him, that came from Daps's A1S and not the AK. Otherwise, he would have been out of this round already. Orgless, with that long control, though, can take their time and work their way up.
They might not continue this A push, though. They have to be very careful. Carpe Diem with full control of the B tunnels. They know if there's going to be rotation back towards B because they have the mid lock by Chop. They can see if somebody's coming cat, and they know if somebody wants to go through upper tunnels as well through T spawn because Jitter's on that angle. Very good aggression in tons once again. We've seen this a few times now from Carpe Diem, where they get that information long and those B players start to push up and get that control. It's a very good play. It's working out very well for them. It gives them so much information, and as the time continues to tick down, Orgless are going to be put in a spot where, yeah, they're going to hit a site probably. But even when they do, those rotations are going to be fast. And if they try to rotate out, they're on lock. Wiz will actually catch off Swisher. So I don't think Chop or Jitter's position is even known to Orgless as it stands. There's a lineup out long and Hexed on top of the barrels. He's playing with fire, but he could definitely yield some good dividends. They're going to march on forward. Up on top, it's going to be Walco now, trying to peer forward. Doesn't catch anybody. Hex swings with him, but he gets taken down towards Gandalf. Nice little double there from Wiz and Walco. Molotov helping out. Daps the last alive. Will get one for his troubles, but be shut down right afterwards. And what a response from Carpe Diem off
Yeah.
the back of that timeout.
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. Not only what a response after the timeout, but even after losing the first player in that fight right towards long, they still manage to come back and close the gap immediately. I think Orgulus maybe taking a little bit too much time to go for their XQ, but at the same time, Carpe Diem did an excellent job. So 6-4 in favor of Orgulus. Carpe Diem far from out of this one, and this is not going to be a repeat of Vertigo in the opposite direction. Carpe Diem are fighting quite well, better than I think I've seen them do on Dust2, which is
Mhm.
problematic for Orgless. But hey, look, we'll see how it goes down. 10 rounds expired into the 11th. Orgless have three players hanging out towards long A, but the bomb itself is in the lower tunnels.
Yeah, Carpe Diem definitely looking very solid here on CT side so far. Might not be the best of score lines, but it's certainly not terrible for them right now. They're within striking distance, but they've not been able to really grow up too much economy. They're still all in that danger zone aside from Jitter at 3,100, everybody else below the 1K mark. For Orgless, though, they don't have a lot of cash either. Only Infinite is above 1,000, and he's dead even at it. Swisher is $50 in the tank. And for Orgless, things are going to start to get a little more desperate. As Carpe Diem continue to close that gap, you already have the pressure of being down a map here. It's not going to get very easy for Orgless. In fact, it's only going to get harder. And Hexed, he spotted out Daps, does not spot the bomb wisely that was left behind the doors. But still, Carpe Diem are putting themselves in prime position to try and turn the tide back into their favor fully. And Orgless are walking in, but Infinite's going to go 1-for-1. Good trade by Hex, the necessary one as well. Goes back for more, does some damage. He's the Guardian of A. Wiz has not even been basted. He's all the way back behind Car. And if Hex can get a second kill here, it's more than enough. He does just that. And Wiz is still holding. Chops come in. The cavalry has arrived. Well, the bomb might go down. Carpe Diem are in prime position for a retake.
Carpe Diem gonna come through. Swisher goes down for the count. It's all up to Beebles, who does open it up quite well for himself. And the 1v3 finds the second, looking for the third, but Jitter comes through and finds the final frag. It looked a little scary for Carpe Diem momentarily, but Jitter restores faith, and now they've got a fifth round for themselves on the board. He's just making sure there isn't more utility to pick up off the ground, and now he will get the easy defusal. Wow. I mean, look, Carpe Diem looked a little listless in the opening moments of the map, down 5-1, but since that point have gone on a 4-1 run. And if you're looking at the economy for Orgless, yes, they could force up here, but it'll likely be a pistol buy-up.
Probably will be. Maybe some armor as well. Maybe a
Yeah.
mid B split, something fast on the cards here. They're going to call a timeout and talk things over as well. So we'll see what they want to go for. There has to be some gimmick behind this. But for right now, the team I have been the most impressed with, and this is by a very wide margin, is Carpe Diem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, They certainly practiced up for this one. There's no doubt about it. Vertigo was incredible. I'm really excited to see them pick into Vertigo more into the future and maybe move a little bit further away from Overpass and start to change up their map pool because basing everything around Overpass certainly was their strategy for quite some time, but it wasn't working at the higher levels. So now they're going to try and mix things up, and I like it. Minus going to get the opener here, though, on Hexton. Walco's trying to fend off 4 or 5 players, in fact, charging towards him. Good utility usage coming through from Orgless as they are trying to pull this one back on the eco round. Utility going to fly over towards mid. Chop has his eyes set, though, on those double doors. Now he'll back off and make way for Jitter, who continues to spam on through, and Orgless have put a pause now on their movement. They want to reset here and choose where to go.
They already do have that opening, though, which is going to give them a lot more space to work with, but B's been abandoned. Chop has moved off of that site, and Swisher's lurking that direction. Chop does have to still show some presence. That smoke will do just that. But Orgless can really go wherever they want. They have a little bit of cat presence, but a mid B split might definitely be on the cards here, especially given the fact they only have one flashbang left. It's going to have to be perfect for them. And Infinite's M4 is going to have to do a lot of work on an entry, a long range entry like A site towards cat. The 2-2 split now from Carpe Diem opens up this cat area, but Wiz can shut it down. Jitter's picked off the mid player, so now an even 4v4. They go in dry. Wiz will not let that one go. You can try and jiggle Wiz. It will not work. Walco comes in. Wiz strikes again, and Swisher gets caught in the back by Jitter. 6-6 the score line. It started off well with that -1 dig, but after that, there was really nothing Orgless could do to get anywhere near a bomb site.
Yeah, and I mean, Wiz popping off with the op on Dust2 is certainly familiar territory. I honestly was surprised when I looked at their stats and saw that they were 0-4 on Dust2 because Wiz has so many memorable moments here, in particular against High Coast, now known as the Party Astronauts, way back when I think it was 3 seasons ago in a 6 OT matchup when he came out and just popped off against RCF in what was one of the most memorable op battles in the at the Premier slash ECL level. But look, since that point, it's been quiet on Dust2. Here, though, not the case. He's already got 2 more here, 15-7. The thing is, it's a 3v3, and Carpe Diem do have an opportunity to go towards that B site. They capitalize on it. Daps finds the headshot on Jitter, and that gives them the man edge.
Orgless really do seize that opportunity, John. They don't let it go. It's a good kill by Daps. The thing was, too, if he dies there, that's the bomb and spawn. So it was a very high-stakes play there, but it worked out well. And Carpe Diem do not seem content to challenge this. They're going to wave the white flag. They'll give this round to Orgless. And yeah, retaking the B side is never pretty, especially with an op, but it's still an interesting decision here. Carpe Diem will concede the round. It makes sense given their money, though. The fact that Jitter's at 15, Hex at 900. Walco and Chop will have to drop for those two. Actually, Walco's going to just have to buy himself. Wiz is going to have to try and drop Jitter something, I guess, an MP9 probably. It's going to be rough here for Carpe Diem in terms of a buy, but it hasn't stopped them before. At the very least, they do have 6 rounds on their CT side, which is not too shabby.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to buy into this next round. They could just run with the op and the AK and have Hex, Jitter, and Walco with some pistols. And I think that's the safer play at this point. Kind of lean on Wiz a little bit, maybe to get that opener peeking around mid or going towards long A, and let Chop perhaps do some work on the B site. There's really no reason for them to panic here. And I think this pause is called by Carpe Diem. Either way, if it isn't, it still gives them time to talk
It
things
is.
over. Okay, yeah, they're going to talk things over and make sure that they make the right call here. No reason to press the panic button at all. This has turned into a very tightly contested affair. And okay, well, I take it back. They are going to go for the force buy.
Yeah, I think they wanted to because there's only a couple of rounds left in the half. They know that if they don't buy this round, they're still going to only get 1900 in loss. So it's not going to be as strong of a buy as they would have now since they do have the op and the AK in hand. Plenty of utility as well on both those two players. Full kits as well in terms of utility. So it does make sense in that case why they would just go for the force buy here. It definitely does warrant a timeout though to talk about that because there's a lot of different things to weigh, and to get all those options, that extra 30 seconds really pays off a lot. So a wise decision. Also let Axe give his input as well, the coach for Carpe Diem. And they do go for that force buy. I like Walco's position in pit with the MP9 too, something to close that gap a little bit, catch somebody off guard with the SMG's high fire rate. One of the few places you can play on this map with an SMG and have relative success is up close towards long. The other one would be up close on B or up close on cat. But still, the SMG not exactly the gun you want, and Orgless are pressuring in towards the B site early on right now. And if they do pop there, there's only one player holding. The problem is that's Wiz, and he's been utterly on fire so far.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him towards the B site since that one round when he was on the retake and ended up getting 3, right? But let's see if he can get some of that magic back once more. And that opener's great. Swisher goes down, and that forces Orgless off of that fight. They actually want nothing to do with Wiz. They're completely abandoning that strategy. And with 49 seconds left, are going towards the A site. 3 players, maybe 2. We'll see what it ends up being towards Cat, and 1 headed towards T spawn. Maybe they're just trying to fake a hit towards A.
Wiz could get caught here. Daps is probing. He wants to get this catch. A mid-B split is on, but a lot of it relies on Daps' ability to get this kill onto Wiz. A close range op shot would be required. Will Daps go for a jump peek? Will he try and throw Wiz off? Wiz holding, waiting. Jitter's already got one. Wiz will not move. He will not budge. He spots the radio on the belt, and he capitalizes, but Infinite will trade. 3v2 in the favor of Carpe Diem still as the bomb goes down, and Infinite will pick up that op and try and use this in a post-plant situation. AK's MP9, a little bit of utility as well, flash nade and smoke grenade. AK1 going in towards tunnels, that is Chop. Molotov out towards window, smoke towards door coming out from Orgless. AK swap here from Infinite, knowing he needs to get these kills, and multi-kills are a potential. Chop, though, engaging, gets the swing. Infinite will win that duel. Hex pushing out towards Carva. Minus has another kill. Sprays up towards Walco, who gets traded in due turn. Orgless traded out in the end. They win the half at the very least, and they've primed themselves for a 9-6, which, considering all things, that's not too shabby at all. And they should definitely be happy with that result if they're able to counter this force buy.
Yeah, I actually really like the way Wiz played that in the tunnels, went for the aggressive peek, caught Daps off guard, and ended up getting that frag, but Infinite was the highlight player in that round. He's the one who takes down Wiz and then defends those tunnels adamantly to get 2 more for himself and win the round for Orgless. So now, given the fact that Carpe Diem did force up in that previous round, they are very handicapped in terms of what they've got in their hands, and you see that immediately go down. That's Jitter, who gets taken down.
I think you can expect Orgless to run away with this round, but the Deagles can always try and turn a tide. It does definitely happen every once in a while. Walco will do just that. Headshot onto Swisher, and he's still going to stick around, perhaps hungry for more. Will not upgrade his gun, though, or pick up a rifle. The nade will do a little bit of damage, though, just a little bit. 8 to be exact on the B-Wills. But for now, Orgless will reset. They've cleared through tunnels, and they can go up cat. They can split to B. They can really go anywhere they want. They have the firepower advantage, and they know it. The problem is, walking into Deagles could end very poorly for you, and if they get tagged down by the scout, it's going to be even easier for Carpe Diem to mop them up.
Absolutely, and there's a smoke thrown by Carpe Diem, re-smoke in the tunnels, but it's Orgless filtering on forward towards the ace site. All 4 players charging down Cat, or will be charging down Cat eventually with only 30 seconds left on the clock. Hex has the flashbang primed and ready. He's going to toss that on over the box. Molotov forces him off the site proper, but at least the flashbang slows Orgless down a little bit. 20 seconds left. They're dumping all the utility on forward. They have to get this bomb planted eventually, and Hex does go down, so that helps things out. B-Wills drops Chop, and this should be Orgless taking the round unless we see a heroic effort from Walco and Wiz, and with Walco down for the count, this one should be done and dusted. Wiz peeks around, Minus takes care of him. 9-6 at the half as we head to a break.
That goal. Swisher over towards A. There's 3 players here, but one of those is all the way down in towards Piddle. Actually, wait, there's only 2 because Midas is in CT. All rests on the shoulders of Swisher, and he's failed to deliver one headshot. In fact, his head is removed from his shoulders. Daps in pit tries to do something, but he just watches on as the bomb goes down. Minus will group up with B-Wills and make his way towards Cat through Xbox. Infinite will rotate up there as well. There's a stack of T's from Carpe Diem waiting on Catwalk to shut down this aggression. John, they are going to walk into the meat grinder, but B-Wills at the very least has dulled one blade. Walko and Jitter, however, have denied more. Hex swings forward as well. And Daps finally moving up long. It's met by Chop. Pistol round one clean by Carpe Diem.
Really nicely done by Carpe Diem. You know, that three-man stack towards Cat yields all the results they could possibly hope for. Orgless just unable to step foot onto that bomb site once Carpe Diem claimed it. So they jump out, they find themselves a 7th, and let's not forget, Carpe Diem also won that pistol round in the first half, but Orgless were able to force into the second one and win it. So maybe they can repeat things here into this second half. They've got 2 CZs and 2 Deagles and the Scout in their hands, with Daps holding the post over at mid. All right, 134 on the clock. Carpe Diem running through here with 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the Scout. Swisher's waiting at Car. Doesn't see anything yet, and there's a smoke guising off his vision for the time being, but he also has B-Wills there.
Carpe Diem are playing this incredibly slow, and they do have to be careful as to not get caught off by the pistols when they eventually push forward. They finally seem to be making their move towards long now at long last, leaving Chop as a lurk towards tunnels, and Hexed back towards top mid as well to make sure there's no cat flank. Orgless, however, starting to get a little antsy. This is where their CT side can collapse. There's strength in numbers, and if they start to take 1v1s, this is where they will get caught. Chop, I believe, is spotted ahead out towards Catwalk. In the meantime, his teammates are working up. Swisher's been spotted, but he gets that first kill. Actually, it's B-Will's backing him up. There's 2 more players here. Jitter with 1, lots of damage. The same could be said for being received by Carpe Diem. Chop, however, domes B-Wills, but Infinite comes through from the backside and gets the backstab. Daps pushes long. He's got another one as well. Things will turn against Carpe Diem if they're not careful. CZ for Infinite, failing to find a mark. Tapping away, tries to go for more. Does a little damage on that last fade. Swings forward, but he is dealt with. Daps with a Scout, working his way towards Cap, but only 28 HP to his name. I don't think he'll be able to pull this one off unless he's able to hit some heads swiftly with that CZ.
I don't know, we'll see. Picks up the AK, and I think that's all he wanted. He doesn't want to go for this at all. He just wanted to grab the rifle and save that, maybe take a rifle out of the hands of Carpe Diem. And that was actually very scary for Carpe Diem at the beginning of the round, because Hex, as he was starting to fire his gun, a player peeked into his angle and took a bullet right to the back of the head. So that could have spelled disaster for Carpe Diem, and it kind of did in terms of the manpower they walk out of this round with, but still on the T side, easier to absorb those losses, of course, and they are going to do exactly that. They're going to run this round, probably force up whatever they can get, as they should, and up against Orgless, who did save the AK, still don't have enough money to go for the full-on buy. So it's going to be that lonely rifle surrounded by pistols.
The one lonely hero rifle. Can it find dividends? It's not out towards the first engagement, which is a peek in towards lower tunnels. Swisher actually takes out Chop single-handedly. In the meantime, Hex gets pushed out, but that nade should do a good amount of damage. Actually, far less than I thought it would. Only takes Minus down by 43. The bomb's going to go back towards A, and Orgless will rotate through, grabbing another rifle for their troubles. Now that one lonely AK in Dap's hands is not so lonely. It has a pair and a partner, but can they find success off of this? Carpe Diem looking to tie this one up. They are going in towards a stack of pistols, and the rifle's still there as well. Daps tagged down very low, though, by Wiz, and now Jitter struck for 1. Daps does trade it back, but Walko is still here. He's still holding the line. The bomb yet to cross, but still, Orgless might have even numbers, but they're so far away from the site, and only Daps' armor to work with.
Wiz going to plant that bomb. Carpe Diem, as you mentioned, have the edge here, both in positioning and in terms of HP. 248 HP combined for Carpe Diem, and I think just under, well, actually less than that now. Wiz is going to take down Minus. Forget about the calculation I was making, because they're only down to 2 players. It's 127 HP combined, and it won't even matter. Orgless is going to back off, and they are going to opt for the save. So another round victory for Carpe Diem off of that pistol buy-up, but still, let's keep in mind that Orgless have just been on the ecos and the saves throughout these last 2 rounds. So to walk out of that with a couple of AKs plays to boost their buy up actually is pretty good, even though the scoreline is going to be tied up here.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all, considering the fact that they came into this with a hero AK, nothing else. So, for Orgless, there is something to be built upon, but they're going to have to win this round, or else Carpe Diem will grab that lead a 10th round. And that's where the pressure even mounts more for Orgless. It's an even playing field now. It's a 0-0 game. All that matters now is where you get to from this point onward. Wiz going for a bit of a jump peek. Not going to spot anybody out, though. Minus with deep smoke out towards long. We'll have a teammate spraying away. That's Swisher, but still nothing's coming from this early spam of utility and hailfire of bullets from the side of Orgless. Op shot from Minus does nothing but reveal his position. And Carpe Diem are defaulting out. A bit of a 2-1-2, but now becoming more of a 2-3 towards middle. Maybe even a mid-crunch and a split off of that engagement. But Minus on Cat has to be careful not to get overwhelmed. He will fall away wisely. Toss a flashbang to B-Wills and post up on the angle.
Yeah, good job by Minus not getting too over aggressive there. Down Cat, falling back as you mentioned, and just posting up here. Now it's going to be up to Orgless to kind of find the defense here and make sure that Carpe Diem doesn't pierce on through it. Swisher's going to be a very important piece. 3 players walking towards him. Good read for him to back off a little bit and hold a close angle towards the wall. Or turns away from a flashbang, does get one, but Walco is going to get the insta trade. So 4v4. Long A has been given up, but at least there's some information there. They don't realize that Chop can be at the lower tunnels, though, and Daps gets taken down for the count. Man advantage that Carpe Diem was looking for, and now some good utility usage to force the player, that's Minus, off of Cat, so there's no visibility for Orgless.
None whatsoever, and this was a bit of a problem for them on their CT side of Vertigo as well, a lack of visibility, a lack of information. And it's starting to become a bit of a problem on Dust2 in the early going too. Orgless really have to fix things, but that is one way to rectify a problem. Nice little shot there by Minus, catching a couple of pixels and takes that shot perfectly. Great lineup too. But Chops on the backstab, and that is a huge one to find on the Infinite. Hex gets taken down quite low, but he's still good for some damage and distraction at the very least. B-Wills tucks in the Gandalf. In the meantime, though, Minus is destroyed, and Hex with another nice shot. Not quite as good as his Vertigo flick, but still a crispy headshot. And Carpe Diem 4 rounds straight to start off their T side. They finally got a lead here on Dust2. It took them quite a bit of time since they got that pistol round in the first half, but since then, John, it's been a pretty even fight.
Absolutely. And I mean, Orgless not looking great on CT once more. And what just happened there? Why does Infinite only have 30 HP?
This shot, I would assume? I have no idea.
That is very, very unusual.
Did he get knifed in the back?
I think he might have. It has to have been accidental. I refuse to believe that that was intentional, but
Yeah.
what a mix-up there for Orgless. It is going to turn into a 3v3, so maybe that won't matter too much. But the thing is, Orgless don't really have the hardware in their hands to deal with the 3 players on Carpe Diem here, aside from Minus, of course, who has the AWP. Thing is, they've already lost control of Long, and the player that's watching from CT, that's Daps, just has the MP9. So there's another gap to be exploited here by Carpe Diem, and they have the 2 smokes to ensure they can cross free and clear.
Yeah, right now Carpe Diem seem in very much control of this map, of this matchup, not just because of that score on that lead. It's still a little too trifling to really say they have control, but the way they're managing their T sides is massive. We saw it on Vertigo, we're getting another glimpse of it, but Minus is having himself a game as well. Another swift op shot delivered, drops the bomb, but it has been recovered by Chop and planted for long plat. Wiz, however, I don't think he'll be allowed to get out all the way behind. Infinite comes on the backstab. Chop on low HP does manage one, but Minus goes over top and slams him down. 10-10. Orgless are not done just yet. They want Inferno.
I mean, for a round where you have a player who gets either stabbed or shot down to 30 HP right off the dock, and he's the one who survives in a 1v2 and actually helps win the round, it's just very strange. But hey, look, you'll take it if you're Orgless. And it's going to tie things up at 10-10. Perhaps just a wake-up call, right? Here's a shot in the leg. Wake up. Let's play. You know?
Shot in the leg, more like a shot in the head.
Yeah, I don't even know. Honestly, wish we would have seen it. But either way, it doesn't matter at this point. As Daps is going to have a peek down towards mid. No one really spotted out, and Carpe Diem again looking for that early long control, which has benefited them quite a bit so far in the early goings on their T side. But Orgless, wise to what's going on here, they have the utility ready, a Molotov thrown deep into that, in towards long doors, and that will make Carpe Diem think twice about charging up.
But Carpe Diem necessarily do play a little more of a slow style T side. They don't rush into anything. They like to set up their utility. They like to set up the play. They like to feel out their opponents and make sure they're comfortable with where they're going. While it's a very good baseline, sometimes you can get caught by playing too slowly. And if Orgless adapt well, they can really capitalize on that slower, more passive play of Carpe Diem. Daps on that secondary op, goes for a little bit of a peek, spots out nothing though, as the rest of Carpe Diem march up catwalk. They're going to be primed for another A hit. Utility is there for the T side, but I don't think they'll have the backstab they would really like. They only have Hex lurking out towards mid door and Walco outside of long. This utility pops can have to be good, and they're going to almost use Chop as bait given the fact he only has a Tech 9. Minus holding that smokes a little low. Nice little flick by Minus once again. And he'll go for more. Does the damage, not quite the kill. But if he's doing the damage, his teammates can mop him up. Swisher in towards Goose. Waiting, dodges that flashbang. Peeked by Wiz, however. And he takes a dirt and half bomb going down in a 4v4. No nades to close towards sight to take out the low HP player of Jitter. Infinite though spots him out and finishes him off. Minus, however, loses the op duel to Wiz. Hexed on Catwalk, shuts down Infinite, who's only good for one. And it's all down to B-Wills and Daps. Op and Rifle in a 2v3 retake. One has revealed his position. B-Wills, however, catches the lurker long doors and brings this into a winnable 2v2.
Very winnable here, but time is ticking away. Dap's going to have to make his move along with B-Wills. They're committed. They're going to try for this. Hex going to be important, and he does actually not hit the shot on the first one. Does get Daps as Wiz finds B-Wills. Carpe Diem pull off the round and put Orgless back into a tough spot in terms of their economy and what they're going to do here at a critical juncture on the map. Wow, what a way to come back and take control of that map. Take control of that round, I should say. In that round, I honestly thought that Infinite played it really well, looking between the gap and the smoke and trying to find the two players. He hits the first one nicely, but then just doesn't get that second one, even though he had the opportunity for it, and that was the turning point in the round as Infinite is going to peek around here. A pistol vibe coming through, and Wiz doesn't even care that the smoke's up, shoots right on through it, and takes Infinite down for the count.
Yeah, it's a good start there for Carpe Diem. Infinite not really having too much to work with, just a CZ and a bit of armor. But it's still a blow to the Orgless side, a round which they theoretically could win in terms of how good they are in pistols, but now losing Infinite, that's a massive blow to their overall firepower. B-Wills, he could catch somebody off guard middle, though dodging that flashbang. Will look back towards the doors, and he'll see nothing besides the beautiful wood texture of mid-door on Dust2. Carpe Diem working their way around, slow and steady as per usual. Will they make their way up, or can B-Will stop this? Gets a blind shot on the run? B-Wills, are you kidding? He manages a magnificent kill, but Walco doubles down as well. And this is where things can go from bad to worse for Orgless. You might have a little bit of momentum, but it goes and gets ripped away from you again. And with Swisher getting taken down, Daps is on a flank. There's not much he can really hope to do. Carpe Diem should move within 4 rounds of taking this series 2-0.
Oh my goodness. That second shot from B-Wills was absolutely ridiculous. The unfortunate thing for Orgless is they can't build off of it, and Daps is now going to have to try and save the AK, but I mean, he's going for the fight here. He's not even trying to save. Daps thinking Chop is going to take him down. An unusual decision. I mean, of course, Orgless will be able to buy up here no matter what, but still, that AK can help your economy. You don't have to fully invest on one player, and at least it could assist you should you lose the next round. But look, okay, I mean, I guess he wanted to try and do more damage to the economy of Carpe Diem, and to his credit, not necessarily a bad idea because their economy hasn't really been able to get built up that much.
John, let me ask you a question. Who do you think called this timeout?
I would guess Orgless, but from the way you asked me, it's probably Carpe Diem.
You know me too well.
Yeah. Look, it's not a surprise to me because I know Carpe Diem, as I mentioned before, they've let leads slip away. So they do like to, Walco in particular likes to call those timeouts and, make sure that the team is calm and they're not getting ahead of themselves. And I do respect it. Hex nodding up and down. He's ready. He's ready to rock here. Looking for that 13th round under their belts. They got full utility, a full-on buy-up against a full-on buy-up, of course, for Orgless as well. We'll see if Minus can get back to his opping ways here and start shutting down some Carpe Diem heads.
There's a good flash swing, though. Infinite only getting one. Good return by Hex, but Swisher's next in line. He'll double down. And can he even add a third to his tally? Chop blind. Will manage another, but it's all down to one lone Walco now. However, one lone Walco is definitely a force to be reckoned with. The bomb can be recovered by him as well. He'll do just that, but does he elect to go back towards A? There's an op in towards middle, watching for the cross. The rifles are double stacked up towards A. He does manage one, but only one. Good little positioning duel there by B-Wills and Daps. So Orgless will strike back and cut that lead in half. But they still have a little more ways to go, not to mention a whole nother map if they're even able to take Dust2, which does seem more and more unlikely as Carpe Diem stack more rounds on the board. However, this is the opportunity for Orgless to tie things up. Carpe Diem are not going to fully invest. Walco with a Deagle, and that seems to be the only buy for Carpe Diem in this round. The rest of the squad pretty low on cash. So this is where Orgless can try and close that gap, get back to level footing, try and turn this tide into their favor. Messy duel by Daps, though. And that is not the start they want. There's even more of an opportunity for kills as Minus misses that shot. B-Wills can get run over. And while it might be Glocks, you can still lose to Glocks. But Hexed is the only man standing. He'll get shut down without doing further damage.
Yep. So 12th round pretty easily found there for Orgless. 12-12, all tied up once more. Carpe Diem, of course, just on a full-on save there, so not exactly a surprise for them to walk away with not much to show for that round. 4 AKs, though, and the AWP are back in action here. A little bit short of the full utility with Wiz only able to afford a couple of flashbangs, but that's not going to be too bad on his side. Minus go for the early peek down cat. We'll see if he can spot out a target. Doesn't look like anyone's going to challenge for the time being, but Daps along with Hex spot each other out into the tunnels. It's going to be a stalemate though, and they both back off of it. Hex deciding to wait for some reinforcements to come. That will be in the form of Walco. Carpe Diem still not committing the bomb to either site, but it is leaning towards A, dropped right behind Wiz, who's waiting for a push to come through here from Orgless. And honestly, it's a good read because Swisher is right around that corner there, but no, Wiz, you're lined up for it. You can't miss that one. And Swisher on the peak takes him down with a headshot. Now Minus is looking in towards the lower tunnels, trying to deal another blow to Carpe Diem into the round. Luckily, for Orgless, he is not going to get anything. And actually, Walco does get Swisher. Daps, though, burns Walco to an itty-bitty crisp. And now Orgless do have the man advantage retained.
Opportunity arises here for Carpe Diem in this round as there's nobody on the A side. Minus is in towards CT. The split's going to come through, and they could honestly just leave Chop rather out towards long, plant for plat, and hope it works out. They're going to plant back big bucks, though. Take the safe option. But there's a cat stack coming in from Orgless on this retake. Up goes the stuff. Oh, goes the boost. And the gun barrel shows. Hex sprays down, but Jitter will finish the first. Will cross over, though, out around that smoke. Dangerous game, and Jitter will deny. He's spraying away, though, as his teammate falls to his right. 2v2. And Minus drops that off. He'll go for the M4 now as time is dwindling. Drop down goes B-Wills, fallen down as Minus. It's all down to one. Can he do it? He's been spotted elevator. There's no escape. There is no survival. It will be Carpe Diem grabbing a 13th and moving forward in this one. Buy can still come through from Orgless, but it will not be pretty.
Well, I think they actually still have enough to go for a very respectable buy-up. Even the op going to come in play, so not too shabby. And Swisher will be able to get the A1S with full utility under his belt. So I think the only thing they'll be short of on a couple of players is utility. Other than that, they still have a pretty decent buy-up to go up against Carpe Diem, who actually are a little more strapped for cash when you look at Wiz only with the Scout and Hex with the Galil along with 3 AKs to surround them. So Carpe Diem do have a lead. It is a bit precarious, and it's been very, very back and forth here. That previous round, B Wills just falling short at the end, running out of time, and had to go for a rush play that didn't pan out. Walco is going to get the opener here on minus. Now Swisher is going to toss some utility up towards Cat to try and make sure that Carpe Diem don't just punch on through. Dap's going to have his hands full towards mid, but he's supported by Infinite, who does drop jitters, spamming through the smoke as Daps doesn't really connect with much, but Infinite is on an island by his lonesome towards B. If Carpe Diem execute effectively here, it'll be very tough for him to hang on to things.
If Infinite's able to manage more than one kill, I think it would be a win for Orgless. He's going to have a lot of work to do to even get that much. Utility raining in, Molotovs too, but he does get that kill. He's going to swing for a second, but he gets spurted out by Chop. Daps, however, one through the smoke. Swisher as well. It's all down to Walco, and Orgless are looking to strike right back. Walco in a very rough situation. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one off, but magic can always happen. Walco stuck behind Big Box, has the bomb on his back and a little bit of time on his side, but he's going to wait for a peek, and I think Orgless are all going to go together. One through window, one through door, and the last player through tunnels, perhaps. The tunnels player is B Wills, who can catch Walco off guard, who's waiting for the peek, but Orgless are waiting for that bomb plant cue. B Wills swings, gets the info, and the kill on the backstab. 13-13 now. We go back and forth, and the money on Carpe Diem is gone. Save here surely from them on the T side. And now if Orgless do convert that as they should, 14-13, 2 rounds away from winning map number 2.
Oh man, I mean, good lineups, of course, for Orgless through the smoke, but a little luck goes a long way, and that's 2 smoke frags consecutively coming through in that previous round by Swisher and Daps. And, well, Carpe Diem are actually going to force into this round. I mean, it will yield an AK and a Scout, but you have Jitter and Walco on Deagles and Wiz on the P250. There has to be some sort of confidence for them, some sort of weakness that they spotted in the previous round. They really want to try to exploit it and really put Orgless in a tough spot should they win this round economically. So it's a gamble, but Hex has been really good with the rifle. I mean, the scoreline might not show it, but especially on Vertigo, he was very lethal. So let's see if he can channel some of that energy and bring it forward to Dust2, and it is a extremely critical round. Swisher waiting towards CT. He's watching, hoping that someone will come into his crosshairs. Minus is with him as well. Minus on the rifle this time, doesn't have the up. What a nade! Oh my goodness! So much damage done. Orgless just have to finish off what's left of Carpe Diem after that. Oh my goodness, and they are just going to take them down. Only one is left, that is Chop. He should be done, Ashley.
Not much left to take down there after that nade from Minus. What a perfect one. And the force buy comes up a little dry. I mean, hard to do anything when most of your team is down below half HP off of the back of one nade. Talk about return on investment. $300 spent for all that damage, probably somewhere in the range of about 300 damage when it's all said and done. Massive impact there from Minus, showing he's not just an opper, he's got those nade lineups too. Not quite the ROPs into the console coordinate nades, but he's got a couple of kills out towards Cat. Only 2, actually, not as much as he would have liked. Daps will pack him up. But still, that nade from the last round is definitely the highlight of the last couple.
Yeah.
Perfect stuff coming through.
Oh, there's no doubt, and this should be an easy cleanup here for Orgless. It absolutely is, even though Hex does manage to pick up the AK. It doesn't matter. 15-13, Orgless in a very back-and-forth, crazy second half of action here with Carpe Diem. Do have 2 opportunities to close out the map, but Carpe Diem, no slouches. They've got AKs across the board. Almost. They got 4 AKs and the Galil. Good chunk of utility as well. They're far from out of this one. Let's see if Orgless can shut them down and send us to a 3rd map. Utility going to get tossed here by Orgless. A flashbang and a smoke towards long. And actually, they back off of the smoke, just throwing a flash. Carpe Diem are taking their time once more. Three players outside of long. Smoke going to get tossed in towards the long doors now, and Carpe Diem will have to wait for it to dissipate, should they even decide to hit there.
They look to be falling off a little bit, at the very least, putting a little more towards the mid control, maybe even trying to go for that kill on the Daps, who has made his presence known with some utility and some peaks. But Cat does seem to be the play in the end. They've had success. They've had some success over on Cat. I won't say they've had a lot of success, but they've had mixed results. Some success, some not. Good 1-for-1 engagement with Swisher. Minus falls away. Having to hold back from long side. Now he's not going to miss that shot, though. Wiz goes dry, overextends a little bit too much. And Bewills hears the fading footsteps of Jitter, who now holds back for the long doors play. Out through middle, Chop's going to try and create something, but it's going to be all down to the individuals now of Carpe Diem, as they're so spread out, so far away from each other. Will they even fall away? Will they try and go back towards B? Or is this going to be enough for Orgless to grab a third? Are they going to take us to Inferno? Carpe Diem slowing down, but the time is lacking. Under 30 seconds to go. They have to make a move. They have to make a play. And surely not they're going to go back towards B now. They're going to get to the site with about 15 seconds, if not less. This is incredibly gutsy at best. But oh, the Flash is going to bring Infinite back in. They almost had Infinite off of the site, but in they come. Daps is here as well. The smoke cannot protect them. Bomb, 5 seconds to go. Will it get planted in time?
Wow.
Yes, it will. And now they have a 3v3. 3v2, though, as B-Wills trades it back. But look at the health on those two. Only Minus has health left, and he's the one with the big green gun.
Oh man, this is coming down to the wire. Carpe Diem trying to hang in there. B-Wills and Daps only have 29 HP combined, and their high HP player's gone. Jitter sprays him down. They throw the flash. Daps gets one in a second. What a flashbang by B-Wills. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of breath here. But Orgless are going to get a 16th. They do take Dust2. Wow, what a finish. I thought Carpe Diem